My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train. Alright, it's time to play the Hellhound. Come to 1, come to 0. Come to 1, come to 1. March of Shields and Reinforce? Oh my god! Alright, we're going for an armor deck. Seraph the Temperate will temper the strength of my units, so I get -5 attack and -5 health on all my units. That's fine. Merchant costs are reduced by 25%. That's pretty big this early. I know Rage doesn't decay on friendly unit is also really good. Dang. I'll put the Hornbreaker in. I was hoping I would get the armor. It's the only thing I wasn't offered there. Non-boss enemy units gain 4 attack. So they'll still have 5 on the top floor. That's fine. A unit banner is really powerful. I'll just let them get to the top floor, and along the way, I'll just torch them down. And I'll build up a unit on the top floor that can take care of them. Great. That'll do. Another March of Shields. Torch. Fine Grasp. 2 Train Stewards on the bottom floor should be fine. Gets them out of the deck for the cycle as well. And this should leave us with enough damage to kill the top liner as well. Nice. I'll march because it's the same amount as Reinforce, whereas I can possibly get... I'm not going to get Reinforce later, but still, march was correct. Sorry about the Discord sound effect there. That was just me muting myself, and my mute button is for both this and Discord. To mute myself in order to sneeze. Got him. Apply armor 4 is pretty big. But I could upgrade that in Flame to make it cost significantly less and get a little bit of extra damage very early. I think I'll take the Inflame here, actually. Wildwood Custodian, Focus Growth, and Razor Sharp Edge. Maybe Razor Sharp Edge, because if you put enough armor on a unit, then you can afford to use Razor Sharp Edge a bunch to enhance that unit so that it has an easier time getting slays, but it's also very expensive. I'm going to take it just because I might need it in the early game. Horned Warrior standing behind a Thorn unit is very, very good. Not a Thorned unit, sorry, an Armored unit, rather. Get a Hellhorned unit as well as forge my spells to gain new powers, or 50 coins as well as possibly give Horned Warrior double strike. It's basically the only thing I really want to do with the Horned Warrior. If I'm not likely to get double strike, I'd rather go over here. Double stack, double stack! Upgrade a spell to gain Permafrost is... Permafrost on Reinforce actually would be pretty good. Hold it for exactly the right turn. Hellhorned unit. Steelworker is nice as well. Another way to get a bunch of armor on a unit. So we're looking for like a battering ram. We're looking for removal of consume on my... Ooh, spikes 2, spikes 2, spikes 2 is fine. We're looking for a battering ram. We're looking for removal of consume on my doubling. We're looking for... Is that it? It's kind of mainly it. They have Thorns too. So yeah. Hornbreaker, Horned Warrior behind it. And then we'll just set up with a bunch of march forwards. Maybe I go Steelworker on a bottom floor and then torch one of these. No, March of Shields is too important. And Flame is still extra armor. I'm gonna need to heal this turn for my backliner if I want it to live. So I can't afford to use the march this turn. That's okay. Kill you. Heal you so you live. Put a train suit on the next floor. So we'll take 3 damage here. I'm fine with that. 50 gold for 3 damage is fine. It's extremely, extremely fine. There we go. Worth. Extremely worth. Right. Another fortify? Yeah. Yeah, a cheaper fortify is super useful for us as well here. Don't need any of those though. Do you have any card except my champion? Another reinforce with consume and permafrost? There's also an artifact over that side. No, forge spells gain you powers, I think. Permafrost again, really? I was looking for double stack still. I think it might be removal here, actually. Let's have a look at the hill vent. Ooh, okay. So I can upgrade a unit with plus 15. I can get blood for blood. Whenever your pyre kills a unit, restore 2 pyre health. Or I can get 10 pyre health and the petrified heart. My friendly units have 10 extra health and are heartless. If I'm going for an armor build, this is pretty good. I'll take that. And then that actually means that basically all of the restores in our deck are dead cards now. So I can make the deck significantly better just by removing each of them. Enemy units deal 2 damage to the frontliner on death. It's kind of annoying. This is slaying for extra damage. It should probably be behind a steelworker, to be entirely honest with you. So let's go steelworker, hornbreaker. These vine grasps were actually really helpful, to be entirely honest with you. I'm gonna fortify March of Shields here, hold the reinforce for another turn. And probably reinforce this turn, I feel. Or should I raise the sharp edge my backliner? My backline is actually fine as they are. Yeah. Let's throw the reinforce out now. Watch bottom liner. Literally, I'm just trying to make sure that 2 get to the top commonly. And if the frontliner takes both of the hits of my units, so both the steelworker and the hornbreaker, then the backliner has to be like nothing when it hits the heart. So the trusted priest will deal 2 damage to the heart when it gets up there because it deals 2 damage to a front enemy unit on death. So I'll still be looking to try and throw a torch at it. I probably should have thrown a torch at it last round rather than at the clergyman. Yep. Having a unit constantly slaying behind an armored unit is very powerful at this point in the game. And by very powerful, I mean I don't think anything can kill us right now. play a Train Steward literally just to get it out of my deck. I don't really need to play any of those cards there. That's a kill. Okay. An extra energy seems like a really good idea. We have the 2 Marches of Shields as well as the Razor Sharp Edge and the End Flame that we can't necessarily play on the same turn. Okay. Alloy of the Ancients consumed to gain 20. Deal 5 damage, apply Rage 8 though. Dark Deal is very, very powerful. And it's 5 damage against your armor. Yeah, I'm taking Dark Deal. I want the damage. The closest that I want here is maybe Husk Hermit. Sweep can be really important. And in fact, it'll get more important as we go further on. Okay. I don't like that I took that, but I think I need it. Remove 2 cards from the deck, gain a Hellhorned unit, and forge my powers. As much as I want to go to the spell power side, I have nothing to do with that health, and I know I did that in the last area, but to be fair, like, the dupe was fine. The artifact was fine. Removing 2 cards from the deck, getting a Hellhorned unit, and forging some of my units, especially considering how powerful my units are at the moment. Which is not very. It's a good idea. Steelworker? Yeah. Take another Steelworker. Upgrade a unit with Multi-Strike is huge. Multi-Strike on the Horned Warrior is a bunch of damage, but Multi-Strike on the Husk Hermit might be necessary. Because Husk Hermit right now, the big thing is I put the Razor Sharp Edge on it. So if you give the Husk Hermit Multi-Strike as well as plus health, I can use that to clear out an area pretty effectively. But wait, it'll be standing behind a Steelworker, won't it? Yeah, if it's standing behind a Steelworker, it doesn't need the health. Just needs Multi-Strike and damage. Need to find an upgrade to give it damage, but that's okay. Let's get the Restore out of there. And our first Train Steward. I say our first because I intend on removing many more. Enemies enter with spell shields. That could be kind of annoying. They have... So this unit has like 50 HP and enchant... Gain 10 armor. Can you tell I've been trying to memorize the units so that I don't make the same mistake I made in the last 2 episodes? It has 50 health, enchant, gain 10 armor. This one has 6 damage, 2 health, no effect. That's fine. My sweep will kill the backliners here. 100 coins is a lot, especially when we have the guild marker. Spell shield basically just means I'm going to need 2 torches to take one down or a torch and a vine grasp. I think I'm okay with this, actually. But if I have to cast 2 on the same floor, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I think. Clipped Refractor is going to be real difficult to deal with. Hornbreaker is not going to really have the opportunity to grow here. Steelworker, Hornbreaker there. Horned Warrior on the top floor. Wait. There's my sweeper. Great. Steelworker, sweeper behind. So now we're fine. The Quill Marksmans are never a problem for us anymore. Dark Deal, Rage 8 is 16 extra damage. Letting that go, unfortunately. You take 6 damage to that marksman, but it's okay. Let's pass that turn. Hornbreaker Prince really isn't growing here. It's fine. This still dies on the top line, but I needed to give the Hornbreaker Prince extra range to possibly kill the next one. And the top line still dies, so I'll cast that there. Here's our brief respite. Makes sense. Dark Deal actually gets the kill on the Hornbreaker here, which is huge. Then I'll Enflame the backliner. March of Shields you to keep you around for a little longer. Okay, so we get 1 Slay off. We take 6 damage overall. My goal now literally just has to be put armor on the Steelworker in the midline. Launch of shields and reinforce. That's lethal. Sweet. So we took 6 HP damage in order to get 100 gold. I'd do that again. I'd happily do that again. Battering ram. That's how we're going to nuke down bosses. Descend a unit. By the way, a patch has gone through, so there are a couple of cards that have been changed, including Restoring Retreat. A lot of the cards that change your position or their enemy's position, Ascension, Dissension cards effectively, have had their cost increased by 1. Honestly, I'm kind of fine with having the 3 different floors, to be frank. Spells, remove 2 cards in Hellbent, yeah. Spell double stack me. Give a spell holdover. Holdover on Dark Deal?
That's pretty good.
I could also give holdover and Emberstone to Enflame. So every single turn I would give 5 armor and 3 rage to something. That does appeal. That has a strong appeal. But Dark deals so much more damage. But armor is still a problem for me, isn't it? No, but Dark Deal on Husk Hermit is ridiculous. That's how I'm going to clear out bottom liners. No, it's holdover on Dark Deal, I think. So holdover... Where is it? Holdover is returns to the hand next turn if played, so you can just play it every single turn. And it costs 0 as well. Super neat. Reduce the cost of something. I want to reduce the cost of... Reinforce would be nice, but probably Battering Ram, so I can Reinforce and March of Shields, or... March of Shields and Battering Ram, or Reinforce and Battering Ram on the same turn. Let's look at the Hell Vent first. I'm going to take all of the money on this one. So I gave up 25 health for 250 gold there. Great War Champion. Because I didn't get the armor again, I think I go Hornbreaker. Right? I mean, no, I do have Dark... I have Dark Deal every hand. Maybe I go Brawler. Multi-strike with a bunch of rage is pretty good. But Slay will be able to grow that really quickly. I'm gonna go Hornbreaker again. Here I can remove some more cards. Get another Train Steward or 2 out of the deck. How about we do that right now here instead? Actually, right now we still need 1, right? Steelworker, Frontliners, Train Steward, Frontliner, and then Husk Hermit, Horned Warrior, Hornbreaker. Yeah, okay. So we only need 2 of those removed. Get a torch out now. And I'll remove another torch as well. I'm trying to cycle through to my armor cards faster. So in the next area, we can get a random selection of artifacts, as well as an artifact, as well as an event. That's pretty big. Enemies enter with armor 10. That's not a problem as long as I kill them all with my sweeper. And my sweeper has multi-strike, so all I need is 1 Dark Deal or 1... Yeah, I can do that. Do not draw my sweeper. It's fine. I don't need my sweeper on turn 1, I just need it eventually. Okay, there's my sweeper. Let's go Steelworker, Sweeper, and then End Flame on you so you actually take them out. Got him. Yeah. We're going to take some damage to these ones on the top. That's fine. That was always going to happen as soon as we didn't have the sweeper at the start. Also got a battering ram there, so the Hornbreaker grows faster. So what, I take 12? Again? 12 for 100 golds. Yeah, I'm into it. Okay, let's march you. Dark Deal you. Horned Warrior behind you. I need to start throwing armor commonly on the this unit, the Steelworker up here. Maybe I don't need to. Hang on. One 15. And then I strike them down. You attack, strike them down. You attack. Oh no, wait, hang on. Both of those go down in the first hit. So hang on. So they go 1, 1, and then 15. So you take 17 damage. I strike both of the sycophants down. So this has... Okay, if I fortify you, it lives rather for an extra turn. I'm going to reinforce on the next floor. Move you to the front. Cool. That'll be enough. I'm gonna blow him up with battering ram. Not even gonna let him fight. Yeah, 12 taken for an extra 100. Again, I'd do that. Reinforce now. Deal 5 damage in order to apply 15 armor. It pierces, so it goes against your health underneath. So unless you have a lot of health underneath, this can be a little rough. Return a consume spell to hand. I mean, that only works after the reinforce is already gone, so I'm going to take the reinforce instead. None of those. Okay. Let's first look at the artifacts. I don't like that. Friendly enters with Rage 3. That's kind of good, at least. That was a really rough area. Let's look at the Hell Vent first. Or second, rather. Don't want either of these. Restore 2x health to the pyre and 2x... enhance the pyre with 2x damage. No. I very, very rarely have extra energy left over. Conserve energy between turns. That'd make it a little more likely. And it's the only one of those I can take because the Prori's Cloak does nothing for us. I'll have them enter with Rage 3, but I think I'm actually going to hold off on spending the rest of my stuff until the next floor. There's another Merchant of Trinkets down there. Having allies enter with armor, having gaining more armor per stack of armor gained. Those two things are probably the most important. Am I okay with taking the Weighted Contrition this turn? No, not really. Steelworker, Hornbreaker, Horned Prince. Run that out. We'll be able to kill the Alabaster Guardian in 2 turns, and the Hornbreaker will get the credit for it as well, which is nice, but unfortunately these penances are going to be really, really heavy in the deck for a bit. Good, now I can actually kill these Absolvers. Oh, yikes. Best thing I can do is just burn out all the self-mutilations here, I think. Husk Hermit on the bottom line prevents a self-mutilation next. Yeah, I'm going to play that as well. I also still have the Dark Deal left in the deck. So having the multi-striker out there is really important. There's the Dark Deal. That's all fine. Actually, we can play the battering ram. It doesn't consume. Darkly deal again there. And I do want this unit to actually be able to get to the next floor, the 85 health unit. Good. Because now it dies to the Slayer again, buffing us up. And now I'm going to reinforce, Dark deal the backliner, and nothing will really deal damage to me anymore. We'll have Brief Respite likely next round, I think. If I've been counting correctly. No. Never mind, I'd been counting incorrectly, but it's still okay. Oh, no brief respite. Okay. That's fine by me. I still kind of want more health. More health, sorry, more mana. Even if I don't use, oh my god, another Dark Deal? Even if I don't use all the mana on a turn, it's fine. So what? I have it in the Unbroken Horn for a later turn. Alloy of the Ancients is so good though. Dark Deal is so powerful. Take the second Dark Deal, but that's probably the last. Like, if I saw another Alloy of the Ancients, I think I'd have to take it there. Let's look at the artifacts first. Summon abilities trigger an additional time. We have none. Remove a card from the deck. Dazed whenever an enemy enters the Pyre Room. That's not actually useful for us much at all. Sting spells, not what we're doing. The game really doesn't like me today. Well, I mean, yeah. The Merchant of Trinkets really doesn't like me today. Purge a card? Sure. So... get rid of the torch. And I'll take a random rare horn, Hellhorns. Transcend him. That doesn't work at all with my deck. Perfect. Just what I wanted. I'm gonna quickly go and remove that and the torch then. Am I gonna go for duplicate any card except my champion, that, and the artifact next floor, or am I gonna go for the Merchant of Steel? Probably not the Merchant of Steel. My deck is, like, my minions are basically as upgraded as I want them to be. So I think actually here I should spend the rest of my money removing things. I think it's time to get these Vine Grasps out. The Vine Grasps don't matter so much because we have a sweeping unit. They enter with armor 20. Ooh, that can be rough. But we scale our damage very quickly. I think we're fine with that, actually. Okay. Hey, we actually got the Husk Hermit on the first turn as well. Beautiful. Pop the Steelworker in front. Give it a Fortifier because it's very dangerous this turn. Feel like this Gilded Wing has a lot of HP. And by a lot, I mean too much. Yes, it has 20 armor, but 140 health is the real big part of that. I mean, the train skewer in the front line could take all of the hits there, but I think I might actually be better served by marching on the bottom line here. Yep. Okay. It's all these Gilded Wings that are really making a mess of everything right now, how dare they? Dark deal, so nothing's even getting to the next floor anymore. That'll deal 14 damage to us. That'll deal 14. We're almost dead. In fact, we probably are. These things have so much health. Ugh. Fine. Train Steward on the top line. Give it double dark deal. It'll have 8, but hang on. It'll have 8 HP left, but it'll be doing 1632. Enough damage to save us, because we only take 1 hit to that Gilded Wing here now. Okay. Ember Drain 1, so that's fine. It's Dark Deal, Edge, March. I've got Reinforce. Not the next turn. It's fine though. It's not lethal on you yet. Wow. Now it is. Flame on you. Flame on you. Dark deal. Dark deal. Cool. That top liner doesn't actually get into the pyre room. We're alive. Funnily enough, the difficulty we were having with those 7 health units, 20 health, the 20 armor made no difference at all. We would have still taken 46 damage to them. Friendly units. Aim +2 on kill. I mean, that's really good for the Husk Hermit building up a lot. I gotta take that. No, I don't think so. Pyagro, that could get us something that's pretty good. One of these is holdover, so we only have 1 0 cost in the deck that it'll get, but it could get any of these and make them 0 cost, which is pretty big. I'll take Pyagro though. I can get 20 extra pyre health here. What are you gonna do? Temper the strength of my units. I can get 20 extra pyre health over here. It's just that's the only really good thing that's available. Whereas duping any card that's not my champion, getting another copy of Battering Ram or another copy of Dark Deal or another copy of Reinforce, gosh forbid, would be pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna go over this side. 50% chance to apply Dazed whenever an enemy unit enters your train. That gives us the ability to build up our bottom line a lot better. Because I don't really have to worry that much about them dying. Upgrade the champion. I think we'll give it plus 40 on the Slayer as well. We want you to grow ridiculously. Hellvent Caves. Give me an event that costs 8p. Come on. Story. Gift of Gratitude. Heaven's Gold. Like, money doesn't matter anymore, so I'll take Aggressive. It's the only one that I want there because it doesn't give me anything else. So my power now does more damage. Yay. Another Battering Ram would probably be pretty ridiculous. Or maybe another Husk Hermit. Get a second one set up on the second floor. Then just have the top floor be a steelworker hiding it. No, but the steelworkers need to be hiding them rather than a train steward. Maybe we don't have enough armor gain in this deck yet. Maybe it's like another March of Shields or another Pyrogrow, maybe. Actually, I think it's probably another March of Shields. March of Shields will also let me relocate the enemies if I need to. I will have to give them 10 armor to do so, but it'll relocate them. Okay. I need my sweeper really early here. Gilded Wing is really annoying. I think I just have to make the next floors really annoying. And just hope that I draw the amount of rage that I'm gonna need here. Train Steward. Steelworker. Steelworker. Dark Deal. Sharp Edge. Yep. Gilded Wing's just gonna get to the top floor. Can I deal 70 damage on the next floor? What would it have to be? I mean, if anything was gonna do it, Double Dark was gonna help. I think I can. March. Deal. Yeah. You the deal as well. You lose. The big problem we ran into there is the 140 health units are very big. Extremely big. So killing them is extremely difficult with our champion unless it gets an early slay off. And I was hoping we would have the opportunity to get at least like one early slay, because that's all we really would have needed for the for it to start ramping up effectively. But couldn't for the absolute life of me find it. So what else would have worked? Depositioning my enemies would have helped. Unfortunately, obviously, like, you know, would have had to have more health to afford to do that. But I would have had to do that for a while. I don't know if the 20 pyre health there would have ultimately ended up saving me, because there would have been more 140s on the way, as well as the one that was already out. But especially concerning like how disappointing the other side ended up being. It might have been. What else could have helped? More immediate armor. So another one would have been the Alloy of the Ancients that was offered 2 times earlier. I took Dark Deal each time. Dark Deal was very, very helpful throughout the fight. I don't know if I would have lived without Dark Deal. But Alloy of the Ancients would have been very, very quick way to set up a battering ram, because the battering ram is 5 times your armor, and Alloy of the Ancients is 20 armor immediately. So that could have been helpful as well. I think that's what I was trying to effectively supplement when I added March of the Shields into the deck as well at the end. Interestingly, the Vine Grasps that we removed would have been a little helpful. Not much, though. Mind, every single time that I had to set up a Slayer, the Slayer was set up behind a Steelworker. The Steelworker would attack first. So unless I had the ability to make the Slayer quick, the Steelworker would kill the vulnerable unit that I moved to the front line with the pull. And also, by the way, if that happened in that final fight, that still lets a 140 health unit by. Those 140 health units are very, very, very big. I swear they end like a lot of my runs. Like a suspiciously high amount of my runs. Previous one was One Horn's Tome, which is 4 cost, consume, gain 1 multi-strike. And this is Adaptive Mutation. Consume, restore a friendly unit to full health, and then swap their attack and defense. That is now the max level on both Hellhorned and Awoken. And I'll pull up the run summary to have a look at. By the way, yeah. We could take like all of those risks across this entire thing. Literally none of them cost us much at all. This one, I mean, that's what the boss does. Feel pretty good about this run, actually. We didn't win, but I still feel pretty good about the run. One thing that would have really helped is finding some better artifacts. Like, going to 2 artifact shops and finding literally nothing that was actually useful. Like, Scorching Restraints a little bit. But finding nothing that was actually tangibly useful for our run, and finding so many things that weren't at all, was really, really unfortunate there as well. Heartless was really, really good to get early. The Petrified Heart, that was huge. Guild's Marker, obviously early, saved us a lot of money over the course of the run. We got to buy and remove so many things. Another thing that would have been really nice was getting double stack on any of the spell shops that I went to, or removal of consumption would have also been really good. Nice. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.